Hello and welcome to another edition of The People's Rose. I'm Jared.
I'm Brooke.
And we are a happily married couple. And we love podcasts. No, we love reality TV.
We love podcasts,
We
too.
do like podcasts, actually. That is true. We love podcasts and reality TV so much. We said, hey, why don't we do that? We started a reality TV podcast, the one you're listening to. It's called The People's Rose. We're not only just a podcast, we film it and we film ourselves. You can watch us on YouTube. Thanks for watching. If you're listening, like and subscribe. And please rate us on whatever podcast app you're listening to, because we've got tons of reality TV takes and we're staying up. We got our kid down and we're staying. We just couldn't.
It's Friday night.
Oh, yeah. Party time. So let's get into it. We've watched this week. We actually watched a lot of reality TV this week. I feel like we're really fully back in the flow.
Mm-hmm.
We had The Bachelor, which we're going to talk about first. We had Traitors.
Yep.
Brooke, I feel like I saw you get some Housewives in. We got any updates on that?
I think I'm a little bit behind.
Okay.
But we're getting to the reunions. We're into the Potomac reunion and the New York reunion. And I think that's it.
Okay.
But, and the Salt Lake reunion.
Right. Okay. So we're going to talk about all of that and more. And then we got some Rose Awards we're going to give out. Rose Podium at the end. It's been a while since we've done that segment. But Lord willing, it's coming back. All right. Let's get into it. Another week of Grant's Bachelor. I got my notes here. What do you think of this week of The Bachelor?
It was your typical week.
Yeah.
I feel like it was your typical week too.
Okay.
So group date was first, right?
Yeah, we had our group date first.
They did a good old classic basketball chat. What's it called? 5-on-5.
Yeah.
And they had kids come out and like teach them and train them.
Well, before we get to the specifics of the date, what's your overall feeling on?
Sorry.
On The Bachelor? We're 2 episodes in.
I mean, it's entertaining so far.
Okay.
I like Grant. I think, typically I would be a little bit like turned off by the, constant serenades and
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I kind of liked it this week. I don't know. Maybe a piano is different than a guitar for me. I don't know.
Wow, this has been an interesting week. It's a lot of us talking about this online. I hate it. I hate the singing. Even if he's like, oh, it's just a fun hobby. He's not trying to get famous. I don't need to see it.
Know.
That stuff you do in the privacy of your own shower. We don't need to hear you sing all the time, every week. He sang twice this episode.
Yeah.
Is that a record? How many leads have sang twice?
That probably is a record, for sure.
And I hope that was the end of it. I really, really do.
It's no way. No, not a chance.
Well, we didn't see much more in the previews. We thought it would be...
I don't know. I think that's like his thing. But we did see the piano in the previews, and we already saw that. So
well... If he's our singing bachelor, I thought this was going to be basketball focused, but they did do that, like you said. But
yeah, but then he was like, "It's not about the basketball; it's about the interaction with the kids." I'm like, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna get into a little bit of that. Let's get into the group.
Except, he really might be kind of trying to distance himself from the basketball thing, because I feel like, if that's something that was like really important to you and you did it, but then it ended, he might have kind of weird feelings about it.
True, that's a good point. I thought that was a huge part of his life up and past college a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But now, that could just be, you're right, something he did in college.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Well, let's talk about that basketball group date.
The best part was when they showed the fake nails on the floor.
Yeah, all the nails falling off.
Nails on the ground.
Yeah. These girls, not too many of them seemed like they were going to get contracts in the WNBA.
Okay, Zoe, though, she was ready to win.
Yeah.
She came out the gate, guns blazing. She was saying she used to play... Didn't she say she used to play basketball?
Yeah, I can't remember. I know she said she was athletic at a bare minimum, But my standout from the date, I believe Chloe was on that date. She got MVP, if you remember.
Oh yeah, she did.
She's tall. She was getting boards. I saw some buckets in the paint.
Okay.
They kissed after the game, and in their one-on-one time.
Oh, and she got the jacket, his letter.
Right,
jacket.
the MVP.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
She deserved it. She looked like a natural out there.
Yeah.
Chloe's a front runner for me. She got the very last rose at the rose ceremony, which is not a good sign.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I am like, maybe it's just because you have red hair. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
she seems to be our only.
You like redheads.
No, I like you. You know what I'm saying? And so she's our only redheaded contestant.
I know. I agree. I'm root for the redheads.
Yeah, I'm shocked that you're not all team. I mean, you are, but
there were some shockers at the rose ceremony, but we'll get into that. Yeah. So but okay, we got to talk about Zoe though.
Yes, you're right.
Really. So they were all taking turns doing what is that called? Dunking.
No, they were calling it dunking.
Well,
they were doing layups.
Obviously not a real dunking.
No, not even close.
No, but I thought that they had it like lowered down. I thought they had
the hoop
lowered down.
Maybe I missed that part.
And they were like
fake. They were actually dunking. Oh, okay. Like, I missed that.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but yeah.
Yeah, and Zoe was like, "Well, I'm actually gonna steal Grant," and they go all the way up to the roof.
Yeah.
And then it's like nothing. Like it's not. They don't even conversate really. And now, of course, everybody's like annoyed that happened.
We didn't see them in the elevator. We just saw them going up, right?
Oh yeah.
Who knows what kind of? Because we know he doesn't have a problem making out. Who knows what they did in the elevator?
Oh my god.
No, I mean, clearly, I'm sure they connected. Is all I'm trying to say.
Okay, maybe.
What?
I don't know.
I think they would. First time there's no cameras. Come on now.
Okay.
Anyways, that's so.
I don't know because he doesn't seem that into her.
Yeah, but
because remember then on the part after the group date after, like when the drinks or whatever they call it, I don't know. He was like, I am also interested in having more of an emotional connection with you.
But that's my point.
That's why you're saying they probably
like,
hooked up on the elevator.
We know there's a physical connection.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see if there's any substance.
Maybe. I don't know.
It felt so produced. Like she from the very get-go, I remember having her like seeing as though she's going to be either okay with being a villain or okay with just saying whatever the producers just tell her.
Sure. But
and I'm sure the producer's like, hey, you want to take him up to the roof? I could do your move.
I'm sure. But Allie Joe was having a really hard time with her. She was really not liking her behavior.
Yeah.
And I guess Zoe pushed her in the game, and Allie Joe, really pushed her.
Yeah.
Pushed Zoe.
Well, Allie Joe is a boxer.
Yeah, okay, yeah. There's something about the girl that I'm like, I can't put my finger on.
She's a boxer.
She looks like she's like, but when they went to have drinks, she looked like she was like straight from the 80s. She was in a purple dress with like these flowers in her hair and her makeup. I was like,
it's vintage.
I guess. I don't know. It just threw me off.
Yeah. I don't think she's gonna go far. I don't expect much from her relationship with Grant. But she has to. I mean, it's basketball, girl. Like, there's going to be some physicality, and I thought she would be okay with it. But I think it's almost like, I'm a boxer. I could totally push you around. Don't push me around. I think she maybe took offense to that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Natalie. Natalie was not.
Is she the PhD?
I don't have her. I didn't write down her stuff from her.
She was on with the kids.
Yeah. She helped the kids. Because she said she's not much of an athlete, but. She helped them, a kid who got overheated, and Grant really liked that interaction. Mm-hmm. And I think it kind of led to her getting the group date rose. Mm-hmm. They kissed on a group date rose, had a good connection.
And that's when he was like, it wasn't about the game, it was about the interaction with the kids. I'm like, okay, Grant.
Yeah. Natalie, she made a comment. She said, they would have very tall kids. She's tall, he's tall.
She did say that.
I'm not going to lie to you.
Yes, I know. Jared almost didn't marry me because I was too short.
Don't say that. I did not almost not marry her. It was just a consideration.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I remember when it became very, very clear that I did intend, to pursue a committed, potential marriage. Someone literally was like, "Y'all gonna have short kids," and I was like,
"Oh my gosh."
Yeah.
Yeah, short people can be athletic too. Okay,
They can be athletic,
but maybe our kids can be. I don't know.
Anyways, let's say your parents are both athletes.
Yeah.
So it'll skip a generation.
My sisters were too. Better athletes than I was.
Yeah, that was a low bar to clear. So other things that happened on the date, I don't really have too many other notes from that date.
Yeah.
It was just it was assortment of kind of those first week girls.
Yeah.
And so then we moved on to the Alex one-on-one date.
One-on-one date.
In the moment, you and I are, well, you more so, but we're both, I think, shoppers. I would say I would describe us both as shoppers.
Yeah, but
and in the moment you said that this was your kind of date.
Honestly,
going to the mall is what we're talking about.
People are talking so much crap about this date. Right. I'm like, that looks freaking fun. Right. I would love that date. Yeah. It reminded me of it reminded me of that old Disney movie, Blank Check.
Oh my
where the kid just like goes wild and spends all this money because he got the blank check.
Being groomed by a grown woman.
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm not that part. But like, I don't know, running wild in a mall and just doing whatever you want and trying on clothes and shoes. And
yeah.
I don't know. It just looked fun to me. Now, it would be a little creepy to be in a mall that was completely empty, but I don't know. It'd be fun.
Yeah, it was at the Beverly Center. I don't know do you know what this means? Dog race. I wrote that note down.
What?
Dog race.
Yeah, they were racing on those little.
I've been looking at this note like, what was I talking about? Like, did I mean rat race?
Things.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who knows? Yeah, that's where we got our first Grant on the piano.
Yeah.
Jamming out.
Yeah.
Singing to her, oh baby, or whatever it was.
Making up that little song.
Horrible.
I liked it.
Horrible.
I don't know what's happened to me.
You were literally like, oh,
maybe it's the pregnancy.
You wrote down. Well, I wrote down that you said, oh, when guys do it with guitars, it's like, oh, girls, get out of here. But the piano had.
I know. I don't know what that is.
I guess I need to learn piano lessons.
I think so.
So Alex let us know that she was raised by her grandparents.
Yeah, she had kind of a rough
relationship with her parents, and Grant before that also that came up because he said he wants to be a better dad than his dad. They connected there. She hadn't seen her dad in 17 years, and she's estranged from her mother, but she seems like a great girl. A great woman. She is the speech therapist. Great with kids. So
what did she say? Yeah, didn't she say that's what inspired her to become a speech therapist?
I think she did, maybe. And at the end of the day, they danced to one of my favorite songs of all time, "Sea of Love" by Cat Power. Come with me.
Really?
My love.
Really?
To the sea. The sea. I was in my chair.
Maybe you should learn that on piano for me.
I was like, they're in love. How could you not dance? Are you dancing in an empty mall to Cat Power? Like, come on.
I do think they have a connection, but I could see it being one of those like early connection that fizzles out.
She has such a bubbly and welcoming personality, and it kind of makes her easy to talk to, and you defeat that awkwardness that I could see them being, like you're saying, not to say fizzle out. Maybe fizzle out is the right word, but like friendship. It develops, but a friendship develops, which happens in the real world. There's initial like, whoa, but you're like, oh, okay, we're just friends. And I'm hoping that, but we see her crying in future.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe passes friendship, and there is not the happy ending. But who knows what she could be crying about? There's so much stuff. It looks like she's crying at the mansion, so it could be next episode. I think it is next episode. Yeah. So that was the end of that date. Group date. We get I don't know what was the second group date. Was I putting our son down?
Were you asleep? No, I don't remember either.
I think I blocked it from my mind because these are truly the cringe dates. where they had to perform their own written song. Now, it started off on a high note.
Say that I think Mario is the biggest star they've ever had on the show. The biggest musical guest they've ever had.
I don't think that's true.
I think it's so true.
They had
some of the country fans might disagree with me,
and for some reason last year I remember having some bands. I can't remember who they were now, but I remember I think it was Feist was on there.
Yeah,
Feist is bigger than
true.
Mario, in my opinion.
That's true.
That might not make sense record number, but anyways, I'm not putting that on the pod. No one's ever gonna catch me saying that, even though that is true. Anyways. I think you're saying he's the biggest one to you.
Yeah.
You were singing along to the lyrics.
That I like for once I was like, oh, I know this song.
Yeah, and you know what I think? I think especially because his songs have staying power.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knew the words to "Let Me Love You," and sometimes if you're not a country fan, you don't know any of those words. And I know the bands and groups that I were excited about this last season. No one knew except me, and maybe Joey. Maybe they change it up for what you like.
Yeah, maybe.
Because they were not gonna have Grant out there dancing to Blake Shelton.
Country,
yeah. So yeah, Dina. All the rest of the girls were on that date. I wrote some notes down. Dina, she didn't seem very fun.
Wait, which one is Dina?
Dina's the one that kind of looks like Alicia. People were suspecting he confused the two, but she's the power lawyer from Chicago whose family lawyer. Like doesn't always, they give her a lot of backstory. I think she's going to have a slow building storyline because they gave her so much backstory. But I literally don't understand.
I don't see them.
She doesn't. She hasn't looked. I don't know if I've seen her smile once.
Yeah.
And she seems like all business, no play.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's into that. Maybe he wants a project manager. You know what I'm saying? I quoted you. You said Rebecca looks old. Can you care to explain that?
Oh gosh, don't put me out there like that.
That's what you said.
I don't know. There was just something about her face that I felt like made her look old.
Okay, that's enough of that.
I don't know.
I thought it was her. She has a very distinct smile. I say distinct in a very peculiar way. Mm-hmm. It was felt like something you'd see in Coraline or something.
Something was. I thought that they had a connection. And well, maybe not. We'll get to that.
Well, no, let's talk about it. Like there was like he came into the awkwardness, which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Why were things awkward?" She explained it, and then he said, "Okay, I don't want y'all to be awkward." Then they cut away to her saying like, "We had a really good connection in our one-on-one."
Yeah, that's true. It was weird. It was like he was just trying to get information from her as to why the vibe was off.
Right. So.
But I don't know. That to me kind of says he trusted her to tell him the truth and tell him what was going on.
Here's the real tea. This is why she got eliminated.
Okay.
People were making fun of her. I thought in the moment you don't know you're going to sing. You're in front of people you don't know. Mm-hmm. And a moment's notice being able to even carry your tune is very impressive.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not a professional.
Absolutely.
And she met that bar. People said, "Oh, she's not a good." I think she did better than Grant. In my humble opinion. And it's could just because I'm biased, but anyways, and Grant was like, I'm not getting married to a better singer than me.
My God.
He said, I'm the one making the record. He doesn't want to take a girl to the end and her singles blow up and not his. Wow. That's what it's all about.
That's petty.
The music industry's cutthroat. What can I tell you? So, yeah.
So basically, they all did a little solo, a little dance.
But which I barely saw. Anytime they're singing on reality TV, earnest singing, I'm out of there.
Yeah, you can't handle that. That goes past your cringe.
But Carolina won because she spoke Spanish, kissed him, and did a lap dance.
Well, that was after she won.
Oh, that's right.
But I think she might have kissed him during her thing. I don't remember. But then she won, and I guess then Mario sang to them, and so they were dancing. But then, she gave him a lap dance, and they started making out.
Well, she straddled him. I don't know if it was kind of a tame lap dance.
I felt so uncomfortable watching that. I don't know. I had countertransference because I was thinking, if Jarrett, if the role were reversed and you were the Bachelor and I was there watching that happen, I would be livid.
Of course.
I would be so beside myself.
Yeah, of course.
I would be so sad. What you do in the privacy where I don't see, okay, that's your business.
Good. Let me write that down.
On the show, if we were on the show.
Okay.
But in front of me, I would probably cry, which one of the girls did. I can't remember which one.
This is so obvious. Like, this is a reality TV show, but it is still the real world.
Yeah.
No one wants to see their boyfriend or girlfriend getting straddled and made out with. Now, even if you're willing to, like, okay, I'll date while you're dating other people, that happens in the real world too. But again, if you walk in, even if you're like, oh, we're still, we're not exclusive. If you walk into a place and you see someone you're talking to cuddled up and they're like riding each other and you'd be like, whoa.
It just was not it for me.
Listen.
And obviously the other girls had issues with it too, because then when they went to the party afterwards, they confronted her.
Yeah. Do you remember when Chance, do you know who Chance the Rapper is?
Mm-hmm.
A while ago, Chance the Rapper was in like the Caribbean
in the dance.
Yeah, he was getting, and it turned into this whole gosh, it was back when I was on Black Twitter, but X is dead to me.
Rip.
Thank you, Elon. But anyways, there was a whole debate and it spilled over into my office and people were like, bro, Jared, would you get mad? Would your wife get mad if you were in the Caribbean and that happened at a festival or whatever? I'm like, I would hope so. That's horrible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But this is The Bachelor. We suspend all rules and
I mean, some people really probably think that is okay, and that's fine. That's their business. But for me, it was not it.
And for the girls, it wasn't it either. It brought some awkwardness to I'll call it the cocktail party. I don't know if that's what it's officially called, but the after group date, whatever. And, the vibes were off. The girls felt it immediately. Carolina felt it. This is Carolina. I'm disappointed in you. Is it I think it's Carolina. Carolina, I'm disappointed because girls have a right to not be happy that you won. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You are all competing for the same man. You want them to be like, go Carolina, make out with our boy. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, grow up. I don't want to say grow up, but like have some empathy. Like, perceive how others perceive you a little bit. A little bit.
It was funny because that was her thing. She was like, why can't these girls just be happy for me? And then something happened at the cocktail party.
Well, because she asked. I think they were like, the vibes were a little off. And I think they started off just kind of being like, well, yeah, it was a little rough for us. She was like, so why can't you be happy and sad at the same time? You're like,
No, but then something happened later. Do you remember where she was like upset?
Well, that's because
you and I were both saying, why can't you just be happy for her?
Well,
maybe it was with the rose?
Yeah, it was the group date rose.
Okay.
She was upset she didn't get the group date rose. She didn't feel validated.
Okay.
But come on. But she brought it up. Like the girls, the way it was edited, of course the girls were upset, but they weren't like going and being like, I didn't like how Carolina acted. It was more just like when he asked, they were like, well, yeah, it was not the best thing to see you dancing.
Yeah.
With another girl.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. That's, of course, who got that group date rose?
I don't remember.
I believe it went to Latia. Let's talk about Latia.
She was crying.
This is week 2 of ABC's Mormon campaign. They're trying to ride the Mormon trend. Mark my words.
You know what, though? I like that she called him out. She was like, listen,
yes.
You said that I am used to getting what I want, and that's not true, because all I want is to date someone and to get married and have a family, and that's exactly what happened. Or she said
the last
I'm
guy
used
told
to
me
people,
no.
Yeah, I'm used to guys always telling me yes, I guess.
No.
What
She
is it?
says, I bet you don't get told no a lot.
Oh,
and she was like,
okay.
No, that's how the last one ended. I got told
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good call out because it brings up something to me about Grant that I think exists in both ways. And depending on your perspective or your bias, I think is how you view Grant in this season. And I already hearing how myself speak. I'm not saying this because I am elevated and I have a better viewpoint of both things. But I do think as a guy, I can speak to some things that I've seen girls react, the ways they've reacted to Grant. Because I've seen both ways.
Same.
Grant is a smooth talker.
Yes.
And he's a good looking dude. I don't want to call him a player, but I'm sure he doesn't have any problem with the ladies, right? To the extent of like talking to them and maybe attracting them. And he knows what to say. He knows how to say it. And he's a little bit of a player. But I do think he has a genuine concern. Some guys use those talents for evil and are psychopaths, sociopaths, and do not care about women at all.
Absolutely.
I do think he does because he corrected himself. He said, okay, I didn't mean for you to. And then he said, tell me why you say that's not the case.
Yeah.
Which is a perfect. He didn't say, oh, you're a great girl and I see that. And he was like, no, tell me what that means to you.
Absolutely.
When ladies would ask him about things, like on Alex's date, when she told him about the past, he didn't just go, wow, man, that's, that's tough. But you're hot. So, no, he asked more about it and then related information. So I see both sides of him, right?
Yeah.
And he's also singing and wants to be a singer.
Well, we also should know that he picked up the simple fact that he picked up on the cues that the vibes were off, the girls were unhappy.
Yes.
Whereas some men wouldn't even recognize that or notice that
and
at all.
He asked what's going on.
Right, yeah.
You tell me how I can help you guys. Now, is Grant, I know the ladies love Joey. I didn't realize Joey had become ladies like Hannah Brown, you know what I'm saying? I didn't realize people love Joey. I remember you cried at Joey's trailer. Every time they would show Joey's first season, I was like awkwardly sitting next to you.
I still don't talk about Joey like you talk about Hannah Brown.
That's not true.
So
I talk about Hannah Brown maybe once a year when we podcast.
Whatever.
Anyways, all I'm saying is I think Grant, there's two sides to Grant. And I wouldn't even call him sides.
Yeah.
I think he is a smooth talker, but I don't want to throw him in the
player category.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, what I reserve judgment because we know the season ends with less than an hour before the girl's arrival. He doesn't know which one he wants to pick. But I think that has less to do with him I think he cares about these women.
Yeah.
And so we'll see his growth. Hopefully he gets past the smooth, which is what happened on last season. We were like, this guy's, is he just saying all the things? And then there was one episode we're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that's what we can expect. Before they went to the cocktail party, they randomly set up Bailey Brown, feeling like she didn't have enough time with him. I can tell you one thing, Bailey Brown, you are not getting picked. I can tell you that.
I love her name, though.
Of course you do. That's your, well, yeah. And, but.
Well, I think, it seems like maybe she's not used to people telling her no.
No. Okay. That could be it. I'm going to go the cynical route. She's a social media manager. She's thinking about time. And the more time she's on the show, the more social media followers she's going to have.
Oh, you are on her for that.
She's going to be on Bachelor Nation. Bailey, come on the pod to dispute or don't. But, I mean, I'm sure is also the wanting to be with Grant. But I just refuse to believe that someone whose profession it is to go viral on social media and attract eyes doesn't even consider the thought of how her edit and what she's going to look like on the show.
Yeah.
And I think the producers are like her because I would venture a guess that all the women on the show who didn't get time were crying about it that week.
Yeah.
Or sad about it that week. And, but she was the only one who got her time edited. Yeah. I mean, who got on the show talking about that. So clearly they want her to be on the show.
And then at the cocktail party, she got a lot of screen time too.
Right. Grant started the cocktail party talking about how, let me get his words exactly. Well, not exactly, just from my notes. Hold on. He said he is, I didn't write it down. He just said, I guess he was looking for emotional availability. And that really resonated with Beverly. She wanted to, talk about that. I like that she didn't just take it for face value and go like, oh, thanks, yeah.
I don't remember who Beverly is.
Well, I do. That's all. I'll just talk about it. He said she didn't just take it for face value. She was just like, "What did you mean by emotional availability?" And then I don't think he adequately answered the question, but she was satisfied. Maybe the edited weird.
I must have fallen asleep during that.
It's
part.
possible. You're very tired now.
I don't remember
you are
that at
literally
all.
days away from giving a light to another baby. Okay. Then, this one kind of hurt me a little bit. This one hurt me. I always root for the. I don't want to say always, but typically I find myself rooting for the men and women who get casted on these shows who not your prototypical, stereotypical cast. And so Ella, I believe she's the luxury host or whatever, wrote him a heartfelt letter.
Yeah.
And he connected. He asked to keep it, which
he thought it was sweet.
Right.
He wanted it.
And she was so like amped to give it to him, and she felt like that was reciprocated in his response. And he doesn't pick her.
He sent her home.
Yeah,
that
which
was so weird.
I mean, if she's not the one, you have to do it. Don't string her along. But I was rooting for her.
Yeah.
At bare minimum, to get more screen time so we can see her in paradise.
There were 2 other shocking exits as well. One being Rebecca.
Yeah.
Because
I did think Rebecca was, until I thought about the singing, but yeah.
Yeah. I just thought that the fact that they put, I don't know, she had screen time, and then he sent her home, and then Alicia.
Yeah, there's some conspiracy online
weird, yeah,
about Alicia and why she got sent home. She had such a strong connection. I think a lot of people
she
had
had
her
the first kiss with him, right?
Yeah, a lot of people thought she was going all the way.
Distance, yeah.
And I thought I had her high when I was watching the first episode. I was like, "Oh, she's going all the way, just like everyone else." But then she didn't get too much screen time this episode. It's almost like there's conspiracy theories. And what she say? Didn't she say she would tell everybody what happened at the final rose?
She said, "Wait
Women
till
Tell
the
All.
Women Tell All."
She would tell what happened, but who knows?
Who knows?
If the producers don't want people to know, they're not gonna.
She might not even be on Women Tell All.
Right. So she didn't make it. But
it was weird though.
Those were the big. Also, Vicky got eliminated, but I don't even remember who Vicky was. So,
I think she was the what's it called? The girl, not the shot girl. Is it called the shot girl?
You couldn't call her that, but she's the no, I can't remember. But yes, yeah, the bottle girl.
Bottle girl, bottle service.
Bottle, yeah. So, but that's not what they called her. So that was another week of Grant. I would say we'll make this quick. Who do we think is in prime position? After watching all the good lovey-dovey music, after seeing the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives at the end, promos for the season they're airing on ABC, I think this is all a setup for Latia to be our winner. I think Latia, if I had to pick right now, Latia wins. Grant converts to Mormonism.
Wow.
They move to Utah. They join.
U-Haul?
What did I say?
U-Haul.
Yeah, they get in a U-Haul and move to Utah. They join Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Oh my gosh. No, Mom Talk. She can be on Mom Talk.
She'll be on Mom Talk because that's ABC. You're right. So, who do you think? Who's your prime leader right now? Although I'm rooting for Chloe, but go ahead.
I don't know. I think I would have to pick Alex.
And Alex, you're right. Yeah, I want it to be Alex. I do think Alex might be the best. She seems supportive. I don't know if he's got it in him to make that kind of decision.
Yeah.
All right, that was The Bachelor. Great episode this week. Or not a great episode, but it was great for us to talk about it. All right, Brooke, do we got a Brooks Buzz this week? It's gonna be.
I don't think so.
No Brooks Buzz.
I'm sorry.
Oh man.
Sorry to disappoint. I've been really busy this week.
You have.
And really tired.
And every moment you're busy because again you're with child.
Yeah.
Just you existing another week is.
I couldn't keep up with the stuff. I will give a little update on Paige and Craig from Bravo.
Sorbo. No, Paige Sorbo, right?
Yeah, and I can't remember Craig's last name right now, but basically people are saying, oh, she cheated on him, and she got on her podcast and she was like, gave all the timeline, gave all the evidence, said we've been broken up since November. He didn't want to say anything. I did not cheat on him. I'm not with somebody new, but I have been acting like I'm single, basically. So, and then I saw him on Watch What Happens Live saying that he's never said anything bad about her, like, her life is hers now, all of that. So I don't know. And then I saw another report saying that he had bought an engagement ring like a few months before they broke up. She had broken up with him. And I guess at first he said he didn't really take it seriously. Maybe she had made threats like that before. He said, "You'll see," I guess, on Southern Charm, which I need to catch up on Southern Charm. I think that's going to be my next binge. But anyway, and then he had apparently bought a ring like a couple months before, but from what I saw of them on last season of Southern Charm, I was like, this is never gonna work.
Yeah.
Because he kept saying, if she doesn't move down here, it's not gonna work. And she did not want to move down there. And he's like, I'm not moving to New York. Yeah. So I'm like, then what are y'all doing?
Wow. I gotta be honest. Southern Charm does nothing for me. I sometimes I walk by and I'm interested in the Bravo universe shows you watch that I don't watch, but I could care less about Southern Charm, and I could really. I mean, I know the whole world is into the Paige and Craig. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a billion gazillion Pages and Craigs all over. Just walk into a Baptist church. You want that same storyline? Walk into any country club. Oh my god! It doesn't even. It's like, where's the juice? It's like I'm like, where is the juice? At least with Matt and Rachel, there's racial dynamics. Is he gay? There's all this other stuff that's going on. Gosh. But with this, I'm just like, okay, Southern guy, Southern girl, break up.
Craig, people are shipping Craig and Rachel.
Yeah, but
by the way.
But yeah, I've seen that. But like,
why?
What? Yeah, isn't he like way older than her? And then also,
no.
Yeah, he is. And then also like he looks older than her. And then also like, again, who cares? Not, and I don't mean that to be. It's just like there's just no juice.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the hook to be like, oh wait, that's why everyone cares. Yeah. It just seems like, from what I've heard, he's the nicest guy on Southern Charm.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've seen Southern Charm, but
it's not that hard.
Like, what are we talking about?
It's not that hard to be the nicest guy on Southern
You know what I
Charm.
mean?
I will say this too, though, about Southern Charm. Apparently, there's a new girl on there who was on America's Next Top Model. So I'm very excited for those worlds to collide.
I always love when someone was in reality TV like years ago. Or they had something a long time ago. And then they joined this and it's like a whole new...
Back in the day, that's how it was with this girl named Cameron who was on like the first couple seasons. Mm-hmm. She originally was on The Real World.
See.
And then she came on Southern Charm. And I loved that too. But
yeah. Okay.
I think that's it. I think that's all I got.
I want to get another Brooks Buzz segment in. Just some real world stuff. Tell us about your pregnancy. We're almost nearing the end here. We haven't done any talk about it on the pod except for announcing that we were having a girl.
Okay.
Just give us a rundown in the next 3 minutes.
Here's the rundown. I'm exhausted. Mm-hmm. It's hard to get out off the couch, get out of bed.
Yeah.
I'm huge. I'm exhausted.
Okay.
I'm also in what they call nesting mode. I want to reorganize this house top to bottom.
Uh-huh.
But do I have time and energy for that? No. But I will get done what I can get done before she gets here.
Okay.
And I have to go to the bathroom like every hour.
Yeah.
And I have indigestion all day, every day.
Yeah.
But... It's beautiful. Pregnancy is beautiful.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. The baby is, again, we're about less than a month out, which is crazy. But they like moving and stuff. I that's like, I'm so happy that it seems like they're growing and developing. But man, I don't know if you've seen the movie Alien, where the alien burst out of that guy. That's the only. That's literally the only thing I can think of whenever I feel our child moving around in there. It's just like she's like, "Get me out of here."
That's funny. I had a teacher in high school talk about how having a baby is like you feel like an alien. Like you feel like you are not part of this world. Like it's out of this world.
Well, thanks for the Southern Charm and pregnancy update, Brooke's Buzz. What a beautiful buzz it was. We also watched this week the latest episode of the Traitors US season 3. It was another very tense episode. I get so involved in these shows. I sometimes I pace when things get tense.
Yeah,
I like literally
2 weeks
stand
in
up
a row. You've
and
been
behind
pacing.
this couch, just I start pacing. And so that was another pacer of an episode.
I am sad that all my favorites have gone home.
It started.
All the people that I was wanting to watch have left one after the other.
Yeah.
And I'm sad.
Yeah.
Started with Dorinda. She was on for 1 episode.
Yeah.
Barely.
Yeah.
And then, it was another housewife.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one. And then, this week, rip to Derek.
Yeah, that one hurt. Derek was actually good, but he was too good.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even chalk that up to Derek being too good. Derek leaving, I genuinely believe, is because there's a large contingent of non-gamers on the show who are, I mean, just so bad.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
bad. The evidence for Rob has been staring him in the face since Bob the Drag Queen was eliminated, if not before.
Yeah.
And I will give this to Rob. He's done such a masterful job of deflection.
I was gonna say he's good at the round table. Like he gets them all. He's good at keeping his cool and providing, resting his case.
Yeah, it's like he's got such a way with words. It's like obvious. Like everyone who's watching the show knows it. But more power to him. But you're right. Seeing all our faves leave, and another thing that's really hurting me. And I don't like Big Brother has a lot of viewers, but it's a network TV, so a lot of people who watch Big Brother aren't really watching every other reality TV show like we are, and a lot of people who watch a lot of reality TV show don't watch Big Brother for some reason. So a lot of these people, I'm seeing them online, seeing these Big Brother players for the first time come on Traitors and bomb, and they're all like, "Wow, these Big Brother players are trash."
Yeah,
I'm like, no, they are just. Big Brother is such a gamey game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You are game.
That is true. It's different.
And it can look a little crazy if you don't, I don't know, like Dan was horrible. He was a horrible traitor.
He was.
And Danielle is a horrible traitor.
And that's what I can't, so we've decided that after we finish, so we're on season 15? Big Brother.
We do Big Brother rewatches just for our own sake.
Once we finish that, we're gonna go back and we're gonna watch Danielle because I've seen Danielle on this and I saw her. I said this last week.
Yeah, on Reindeer Games,
and I need to see evidence as to why you feel like she's so good.
Danielle Reyes it's just a fact, one of the top 7 best Big Brother players of all time, and she was much higher. Except we've had some really good seasons of players from like Chelsea and other players since then. But I mean, she's season 3, I want to say. So for until season 14, a lot of people had her as one of the top 3 or 4. She's that good. Dang. It's like a foundational season. But anyways,
I guess you're right. In Big Brother, you're like always gaming.
Yeah,
scheming and talking and
the social aspect is a game. And all of the social thing is a game. And so when you're on a show where people are getting killed just on vibes, they killed Wes because they're like, even if you're not a traitor, you have to go. Yeah, and it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, and there's a lot more opportunities to save yourself in Big Brother.
Yes.
Whereas in Traitors, it's literally a murder in the morning, a murder in the evening. It's like back to back.
Yeah, and that's another thing. That's so frustrating about Traitors is they're wrong most of the time. Unless you get the Traitors out the first 3 weeks, I'm sure the producers would find a way to never let that happen. I would just be like, we're going to be wrong all the time. So let's at least listen to evidence and not. I've heard so many.
So
the vibes are off.
Just get who we don't like out. I think is the
vibe.
Which
is what they're doing.
I was worried for Brittany this week because Brittany is definitely one of my Big Brother all-time faves.
As is mine, yeah.
But when Derek left, he was like, Dylan, it's Brittany and Rob. And that is true. Brittany was riding hard for Rob last week.
Yeah.
And then this week, he totally threw her under the bus. Yeah. So then she had to defend herself. And I'm glad that she stayed, but I'm worried because now her and Danielle are getting close, and I'm afraid Danielle might take her to the end and then rob her of the money.
Here's what I'm not worried about. I don't know. I think Brittany right now has all of Big Brother fandom on her back, supporting her. I actually don't know that to be true. This is how I see it though. I actually do think Brittany's in a very good position. Danielle doesn't want her to get murdered because Danielle trusts her.
Yeah.
Also, Carolyn likes Brittany because when she heard that Danielle was lying to her, but not lying, but you know what I'm saying, targeting her through Brittany, she got upset. She was like, "You're one of the people I trust the most." Both of those ladies like Danielle and think that she's on their side.
True.
Here's what I know. I mean, Brittany. This is what I know about Brittany. We watched her season 13 and season 14. It's 14.
Oh.
So maybe it's 12 and 14. It's 12 and 14. She's good. She knows how to read people. She knows the game. She knows how to play. She got crossed by, think about Big Brother. She got, what's the word I'm looking for? She got fooled by the traitors. The brigade betrayed her, and she found out at the end, just like traitors. It was basically traitors for her, and she has learned about that moment. In fact, I'm posting this on the Big Brother or the Traitors website on Reddit. I don't know if anyone's thought this before or posted about it. I haven't checked. But she's experienced traitors before. She knows what to look for.
True.
Secret alliance. That's all traitors is, a secret alliance.
True.
And taking her out. She's going to cozy up to the traitors, who I think she knows Danielle's a traitor. I do think she knows.
Do?
Because I saw an interview where she was like, one thing they haven't shown you in the edit is Danielle was acting crazy all the time.
She did say that.
She was like, she said in her Brittany way, she was like, there were times where you'd be like, girl, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So I think she knows because she also knows how Danielle acts. She's like, why are you acting like this? And I don't know if she'll catch Carolyn, but give it enough time, Brittany's observant.
But what do you think? Because you saw what I said, or remember what I said when we were watching. Now that Rob's out, I think they might recruit Brittany to be a traitor. Do you think they might?
That would be a great move on their part.
Yeah. Do you think she would accept? I guess sometimes you don't have an option.
You don't have an option. I think she should accept, and they should get rid of Carolyn. Because Brittany could help Danielle calm down.
True.
Danielle and Brittany would have complete trust in each other.
True.
I think they've built it. I think they've forgotten about reindeer games. Carolyn, as much as Danielle should work with Carolyn now, if she can recruit Brittany and immediately go, we got to get rid of Carolyn. Because the only thing is, no one's ever going to guess Carolyn's a traitor.
I just don't know if Carolyn and Danielle can get it together. Like, I don't know if they can work together. If
somehow Carolyn can get Danielle out of there, the game is hers. No one would ever suspect her for any reason whatsoever. It'll be interesting. Everyone online, especially those Survivor lovers, are like, just wait. Carolyn's the queen. Okay, I want to see her gameplay.
That's another thing we need to watch.
Yeah, they don't have her. They don't have Rob to protect them anymore as a shield. So let's see what happens when Carolyn's at the wheel making decisions. Because right now, nothing goes back to her because, I mean, who would she kill?
She made it seem like she was feeling steamrolled by Rob.
Rob was steamrolling them. The fact that all the people he wanted to died, and what ultimately made it obvious he was a traitor.
True.
But let's also talk about the other side of the house. We've been talking about gamers because, we watch a lot of games. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the non-gamers. Dylan found out that his number one ally, Rob, was, and so he's feeling a little vulnerable. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about Sandoval. I knew this was going to happen with Sandoval.
Oh gosh, everyone hates Sandoval.
Right. Well, but he's just not with it.
That's what. Yeah.
But after all, I mean, he wasn't the first to figure out it was Rob. It was multiple people, but they all went home, and so he was like, "Guys, I think it's Rob." And now he gets the credit.
Now he wants the credit. Yeah. And he just has such a distinct personality, and sometimes people just have personality clashes. Who is it that what is it who is it that votes for him every single time? Is that Chriselle?
Chriselle hates him.
I think she's voted for him at every single round. It
was between Brittany and Rob, and she's like, Tom.
Yeah.
I don't think it's any of them, and I just think it's you. And you're like, huh? A lot of that happened a couple of times.
Yeah.
Dylan voted for Gabby out of nowhere.
Oh gosh.
And you're like, you're dead wrong.
Gabby is funny.
Gabby could go to the end.
I will give her that. She's funny.
Gabby is hilarious, and I don't think she cares enough to really tune in. But I said it after the first episode. I think she's more than smart enough.
Yeah.
And perceptive enough to get it. But she's like, not.
Remember at breakfast when she was talking about Ivor, and he was there, but she just did not see him or notice him, and they were all like, "Gabby, he's right here."
Yeah,
she made a TikTok about it, and she was just like, "I didn't know he was there."
Yeah, Gabby.
Which Ivor again is another like, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah,
him and Sam.
So many of these no names are so bad that here's what I could think Carolyn and Danielle should focus on right now are just picking the most random people because it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They need to shut up. They don't need to say anything. Just shut up and go with the flow. And if they think it's Sam, get rid of Sam. Yeah. Get rid of Ivor. Get rid of Dolores. But don't because Danielle has a little heat on her, but Carolyn put that on her. So if Carolyn stops talking about her, they're good. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just start getting rid of folks.
Yeah.
So they're actually in a good spot now that Rob's gone. Yeah. Although Rob played an interesting game. We got anything more on Traitors? We did. This is of all the times to not talk about the challenge. We have to talk about the challenge this week because it was actually entertaining. Most of the times the Traitors challenges are like, this is fake. We know it's fake. Who cares? But this was basically Fear Factor. Yeah. What'd you think?
Yeah, or even worse, because they literally dumped roaches and maggots on top of their heads.
Listen, I'm a full grown man. I don't have any problems with who I am. I don't want to say I have a lot of self-awareness, but I'm pretty self-aware. If I had been the first person to go up there, I'm immediately taking my hand out the box. If I had seen everyone else do it, including the women, I would have stuck it out, and it would have been a feat. But as for just like, if I'm just me, especially I'm the very first person, I'm literally just as soon as I see those millipedes, I'm like, I'm not doing this.
It's like bugs that I can see and get rid of, I'm fine with. But when they're touching me, that's a whole nother level. Like, I don't need that.
They were saying that
nobody needs
the crickets and maggots were crawling around in their underwear, in their clothes, in their hair, in their ear. That's just not. I'm like,
no.
And here's the thing. It's not a guarantee. If someone said, "I'll hand you $20,000 after you do that," of course I'll do it, right? But it was to add it to a pot that maybe I have a chance of winning. You might or might not,
yeah.
No, I'm taking my hand out of the box immediately.
For sure.
Immediately.
And it was actually surprising to me that only one person did. Only Chriselle did, right?
Yeah, Chriselle and Dolores.
Yeah. I think Dolores would have stayed in,
she would have.
Rochelle freaked out.
But I don't have a problem with that. Listen, you wouldn't let a millipede and maggots and roaches and snakes just crawl around you in bed at your house.
No, heck no.
You know what I'm saying? So
but
I don't think
it is a little different because you know that there's a time limit. Like, you know after 8 minutes it's going to be done. And you're in like a controlled environment. Well, kind of.
I would need to change immediately.
Well, same.
I would strip down to my skivvies. I would need to be doused in water immediately. If there's not like a shower off camera immediately, I just wouldn't do it.
There wasn't, because they got in the car and Brittany goes, "We stink. That's gross. That's so gross."
It just, again, it's not enough money on the line for me to consider doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, that was it. I want to do the Rose Podium. This is a segment we haven't done in a while. Where we just give out roses. The show's called The People's Rose. It's not a rose ceremony. That's the Bachelor. This is the Rose Podium. Think of the Olympics. We have a bronze, silver, golden rose that are available, and above all of those is the People's Rose. But the People's Rose would have to be something crazy. I don't even think we've given one out yet.
You have to be worthy of
it. Brooke's fading. So do you even have roses to give out?
I was just going to say, I think I want to give one to Gabby because she's entertaining.
Yeah, you really have liked her online presence.
She's funny.
I'm going to give a golden rose to La Isla de Tentación. La Isla de Tentación. It's a Spanish, I think, take on Love Island. Oh. And it went viral this week online. I don't know if you've seen this, but Montoya was is a guy who was dating Ana. They call her Ana or Anita on the show. And they had a turbulent time. Just to summarize it real quick. They both were on the show. He saw her. Dang, how did it start? He saw her flirting with a guy. So then he flirted with a girl. You know, there's some touchy feeling. So then she has an affair on the island or the Casa Amor. Has sex with one of the guys. And he watches it live. Not a videotape. What? The host is sitting there while he's watching it live. I don't know why he was away from the camera, from the villa. But he's watching it happen, and he's losing his mind. He is screaming at the top of his love, "Amor, no!" He's calling her bad names. I feel
like there is something totally wrong about that.
And I don't know what's happened. I just had crazy deja vu. Anyways, I'm in this moment, I feel like we've talked about this on this pod.
No, I literally was sitting here thinking, why haven't you told me about this?
Well, it just happened. It's airing, I think, right now in Spain.
What's it airing on?
I think it's in Spain.
Oh.
It went viral because someone posted a clip on Twitter of him screaming. Because what happens is they're on the beach. He's on a separate part of the beach, and he's screaming. He's like, "I don't want to see this. I don't want to watch this anymore." So he literally, the host is like, calm down, Montoya. Oh, I speak Spanish, by the way. So, people reading the subtitles. Your homie here was listening. Okay, so he's like, "I'm not doing this." And so he runs on the beach.
What?
Full speed. The cameraman's chasing after him. And he's like, "Anita! Ah!" I can't describe. I got to show you the video after this. He's screaming at the top of his lungs.
Oh my
He runs to the beach. He runs up to her. She's and they're cutting while he's running to her, they're cutting to her and the guy they're cutting to it.
What?
They're under the covers, but it's happening. So he runs down the beach. He's screaming at her. All the people, there's other stuff. There's other people doing stuff, but they're at the villa "What? Is that Montoya?" And so he's cursing her out. He's saying, and then she comes out. She's like, I don't have any tears for you. You cheated on me, basically. She didn't say you cheated, but that's the I don't have any tears for you. Who are you crying about? You know exactly what the problem is or what all that stuff is. And so, so she curses him out. He's all this time, he's tearing his shirt off, crying in the sand of the beach. So then she goes in. I think the adrenaline and honestly possibly the post, what is it called?
Okay.
Coital, high wears off. And then I think she realized, oh my gosh, I just cheated on my boyfriend. He saw it live. So then she runs back to him and she's like, please take me back. I just want to leave with you. I want to go home with you right now. And the host like separates them like, you both broken the rules of the show, which was like crazy. And so this went super viral online. Everyone was talking about it. Again, I don't use X, but I had to go back to it to look at that because everyone was talking about it on there. And I used it another time this week to look at the Luka trade stuff.
Wow.
Can Blue Sky and even Threads I'm a little wary of. But like, let's get these numbers up. Everybody just migrate over. We don't need to be.
I've never even heard of Blue Sky.
It's a Twitter alternative. But let's get off that Nazi platform. I'm gonna say it for real. Like, I'm tired of. Anyways, but that's not what this. That long story short, a golden rose to Montoya and Anita and La Isla de Tentacion.
I was wondering who's getting it. They're all getting.
They're all getting it because that's a show that went viral. And it just captivated the world. I don't know if reality TV is captivated online just like this one has. And it's in a whole other language, and everyone online was talking about it. I need more Spanish language reality TV shows. But I'm not really a Love Island guy. As entertaining as I was, I want competition reality. They have
competitions on that.
Yeah, but I'm talking more Big Brother stuff. I have yet to watch Love is Blind Argentina. I liked Mexico. I think I will like Argentina, but I don't need dating shows. I want a Spanish Big Brother. I used to watch Gran Hermano. I used to also I tried some of those other ones, but just if you have any Spanish language competition reality shows that are available in the U.S. for me to watch, please let me know. That was the longest ending segment I think we've done on the Golden Pod.
Yeah,
but you did
struggling to keep my eyes open.
You know what? Let's just end it with that. We'll get you can go ahead and go to sleep. I'll take us out of here.
Thanks.
Thank you for listening and watching. If you're watching us online, again, whatever pod, I think I've heard people call them podcatchers. Whatever podcast app you use, please make sure to subscribe and to rate us. Please, if you're using Apple, please rate us on there. Only good reviews. No, you can give us bad reviews. And then if you're watching us on YouTube, please like and subscribe. We post our videos as segments, and so you can kind of tune in like that way. We're on social media at The People's Rose on most platforms, or you can find us at peoplesrose.com on the web and on Blue Sky. And, reality TV, as far as I know, isn't going to stop this week, and so we'll be back next week to talk about more. Next week, we're going to have the first episode of Love is Blind on Valentine's Day. We're going to have some other shows, I believe, that are starting soon. So the content will be there. Again, we're getting closer and closer to us having another baby. So it might slow down, but we're not stopping. We're going to, if we get time, talk about when we can. I might be podcasting.
You're going to be as tired as I am in a couple of weeks. Bye.